friends. This is your pal, Snake Plissken. And you might remember me from my hit Hollywood movie, Escape from New York. But we're making a sequel, and it's called Escape from New York, My Corona. Because pretty soon, all of you are going to be escaping from New York.
Trolls. Small trolls.
So just because I just happened to see it as I was going for a walk into the woods. Back in the 9th century, back in the 6th century, back in the 3rd century, what we did, Anglo-Saxons, Celts, Gauls, Welsh, Irish, Scots, Scandinavians. I don't usually say Norsemen and I don't say Northmen because Ostermen, people from Scandinavia, did not call themselves Northmen. They did not call themselves Northmen. They did not call themselves Vikings. They called themselves Ostermen, men from the east. But what Ostermen, Scots, Picts, Celts, etc., what we did to wipe our booties with, as we would take up this moss and dry it out, and this is what we used to wipe our bottoms with. So when you run out of that booty wipe, there's plenty of moss to dry out everywhere, just like the good old days. So let's see what we can find, and stay tuned for my next nature video. Have a good night. Again, guys, have a good night. I went to, my friend Don stopped by the other day. Hey Don, hope you had a good, safe day. Thanks for coming by. We were out here on the Harmon farm and exchanging and sharing a little bit of history here. We are both reenactors and living historians. Don's a Yankee with 142nd Pennsylvania. But in any event, we went to the dollar store. We went around town a little bit, and there's always a chance of catching germs. So I spent most of my day in and out of bed. I'm chalking it up to my illnesses. I'm chalking it up to narcolepsy. I don't have any medication like weed to kick me out of that narcolepsy vicious cycle. And then I got up, I had some soup, but I feel like I have a chest cold coming on. And so that kind of sucks. I shouldn't be outside, but Corona, 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 Corona. That'll keep the weirdos away. But in any event, this could have easily been avoided, all future illnesses, if our resources were being used and spent and focused on more proper endeavors and directives. Okay? It's like my daughter put it not long ago. She said, you know, we spend billions on new ways to kill each other, but we're not spending enough on saving each other. And she was absolutely right. So in any event, my friends, I think my time is up. I'm out shooting some footage. I got some great footage a week ago, so stay tuned for my next nature video. I was lucky enough to get what I think is some pretty cool stuff. I just posted about a 20-minute video on my YouTube page about National Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month, and that's about kind of like my personal situation, what's going on with my life, my recent pneumonia, my computer breaking down and then getting a new computer thanks to my brother, a little bit about multiple sclerosis, what people think they know and what people do know and what they don't know, and I give some examples. I just encountered a couple walking their dog, and sometimes I do encounter people out here walking their dogs. And like so many of you that have chronic illnesses, fibromyalgia, hemochromatosis, multiple sclerosis, the folks, they asked me, they said, you know, they see my camera and I'm out here filming and stuff. And they said, well, what are you doing out here? And I said, well, I'm filming a nature hike video for people with chronic illnesses who are stuck inside their houses, that are physically unable to get out of their houses. And so I'm getting out of their houses for them. And they asked me if I had MS. I said, yeah, I have MS. And they said, well, wow. They said, you look fine. How many of you have heard that 10,000 times? We look fine. And so these days I tell people, if you were in my body right now, you would be calling 911 in about 3 minutes. Because I can barely see you out of that eye, and I can't feel the top of my right thigh. So people often think we look just fine, but really we're not. So that was one example. I think I'm going to start filming those encounters. And that's what awareness is all about. People are unaware. They see us and we look fine, but we're really not. I feel like I ran 10 miles. But in any event, guys, that's just a little short add-in. Have a good one. I just shot a video for you folks who are chronically ill that are stuck in the house. So watch the video and come for a walk. And hopefully, if this chest cold that I feel developing doesn't continue to get worse, I will be doing a Finnish MS Appalachian Trail hike. And so that's what that video, my last video I just posted on my YouTube, that's what that's about. So pour yourself a nice hot cup of tea, sit back and watch your favorite incredible Mr. Nobody talk about all kinds of funky things. And all of you, each and every one of you, my favorite honkies, you guys have a very excellent night. And I hope it is surrounded, you are surrounded by those who love you the most. And I bid you a very sincere adieu. Auf Wiedersehen.